explained the student schedule that our students will receive in the sixth grade, identified required courses that all sixth graders need to take, and discuss the electives that are available to them. We call those our co-academic classes. And then finally, examine the registration process for future Forest Oak Middle School students. It's important to note that myself and counselors are going to be visiting elementary schools starting next week. And so what we wanted to make sure is that we got the information out to our parent community prior to our visits to the elementary schools. Again, you will see here the topics for our presentation, as was kind of paralleled and outlined in our session outcomes. And we will share our contact information at the end of the session and make time for questions and answers. This presentation will also be shared with you via the video that will be posted on the school website. Tonight, we have several members of our Forest Oak team here, mainly and primarily our principal, Dr. Dacia Sewell. She's waving. Again, my name is Miss Putman, Christina Putman, one of the assistant principals. Miss Thomas, I saw she joined us. She's our resource counselor. We have Miss Mayer, who is currently the 8th grade counselor, who will be the 6th grade counselor next year. And then you see other members of our team as they provide different services, but are not necessarily here with us tonight on this slide. But we do have another special guest with us, Mr. Smith, our 6th grade co-lead teacher. He is partnered with Mrs. Joanne Robbins, who unfortunately was not able to be here with us tonight, but we have a dynamic duo in our team leads for 6th grade. Are there any other staff members here at Forest Oak that I overlooked? Because I have a small screen and can't see everyone at once. Okay, I think I got everyone. And now we will hear from our principal, Dr. Sewell.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. This is the beginning of your journey in middle school. For some of you tonight, you're old hand, you've done this already. For some of you, this is your very first time. If I have any first-time middle school parents, please use the raise hand feature, or you can put it in the chat that this is your first time with a middle schooler. Oh, what? We see you. We see you. We see you. Thank you. Thank you, first timers. We just want to wrap our arms around you and let you know it will be okay. It will be okay. We see somebody in the chat putting it's their first time with a middle schooler. It will be okay. Your child is about to change. You're going to wonder, who is that child? It's okay. It's absolutely okay. We're going to help you through it. We want you to know at Forest Oak that we strive to be a community that fosters empathy in an anti-racist, anti-biased environment. We want to develop resilient and growth-oriented learners. So that's what we're here for at Forest Oak. And for my first-time middle school families, don't worry, we got you. You have some families here who've done this before. So over time, you all will connect and you'll be able to support each other. Our mission at Forest Oak, we are working to do 3 things at Forest Oak and do those 3 things really well. We want to provide meaningful, challenging instruction. We want to create an environment where our students feel welcome and included. We also want to create a place that is excellent in the way it operates and holds itself accountable to you, our families, and to each other. So welcome, middle school families. This is a great time for you. It's going to be fine. Trust me, your children will be fine. You'll be hearing from us multiple times throughout the year and this summer coming up. You'll have an opportunity to um, see us, greet us, get to know us, and get to know your new school community. Just a couple of faces to put with names, people that you're going to see consistently. Miss Mayer, the sixth grade counselor, our resource counselor. That's just a fancy term to say that Miss Thomas is the department chair for counseling. She runs the counseling department. And Mr. Schmidt and Miss Robbins in her absence, they're your sixth grade team leaders. So these four dynamic people are there to support your children along with the rest of the Forest Oak team. So it's not just them, every adult at Forest Oak is prepared and ready to serve and support your children. To talk a little bit about middle school life. So you're coming from a world where your child has been probably from kindergarten, maybe even pre-K through fifth grade, and they've experienced this one place for the last 5 or 6 years. Well, middle school is a 3-year journey, just 3 years, and it changes the way your child experiences school. So where you have specials in elementary school and where you might not have team sports, or your child is not seeing 7 people as their teachers, it changes in middle school. And in middle school, our day begins at 7:50 in the morning. Our students begin to arrive and they head to their holding locations until 8 o'clock, where they go to their grade level hallways. They put away their items, and the first bell rings at 8:08, where they start their day with what we call advisory. That's homeroom. That kind of gets them settled. They can get their breakfast. They can get their minds ready to learn. The day continues. We'll show you in a bit with their schedule. They have classes that they're going to throughout the day, unlike probably in elementary where they only maybe changed classes a couple times. In middle school, they're changing classes 7 times. And that first experience of doing that can be a bit much for a transitioning sixth grader, but we're here to help. And they're super excited about it. You wouldn't believe it. That's why I keep telling you, your child will be fine. You're more worried than they are, probably. Excuse me, can you go back one, please? Just want to point out the start time again. They need to arrive at 7:50, no later than 8, because the day starts rolling once they get there. They go through their 7 classes, and then there's a 3 o'clock dismissal where they're either catching their bus or walking, or some of our kids stay for after school clubs and activities. Next slide. So the big thing your child is looking forward to in middle school is getting a locker. You would say, well, why? What's the big deal? Well, you'd be surprised what they do with those lockers in terms of decorating them. When you go to Walmart or you go to Target, you can literally buy kits to decorate the lockers. I've seen chandeliers in lockers. I'm very serious. You'll see what I mean when you start ordering their supplies. Moving from class to class, that's a big deal. Getting from one room to the next. We're here to help. They will not get lost, but they have to move from space to space because their classes are in different spaces. That also means they have 7 different teachers. And that takes some learning to learn 7 different people. But the kids do it pretty quickly. Within the first couple of weeks, they start to know names. They start to be able to identify where their classrooms are on their own without help. So it happens very quickly. They locate their classrooms. They locate the cafeteria, the restrooms, the counseling office, the health room. Fortunately for our sixth grade students, for the majority of them, all of these things are on the first floor. So for the majority of our kids, they really don't need to go to the second floor for anything because their classes are mostly on the first floor. The cafeteria is on the first floor when they walk in the door. The restrooms are on the first floor. The counseling office is on the first floor. The health room is on the first floor. The main office is on the first floor. Just about everything they need is on the first floor. They go through their day and then they get right on their bus or they walk home when their day is done. While we're going through this, I want to encourage you, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We will look in the chat for those questions and read as many of them before we get done this evening as we go through the presentation. So please, again, I want to encourage you to put your questions in the chat if you have any questions. Another thing about middle school is we have each grade level has its own lunch. So all sixth graders eat with sixth graders, seventh graders eat with seventh graders, eighth graders eat with eighth graders. Each grade level has its own lunch, and sixth grade has their lunch first. During lunch, sixth graders not only have their lunch, they also have the opportunity, if they choose, to go to the media center. There are some wonderful things in the media center, not just books. There are puzzles, there's games, there's great things for them to do in the media center. We provide recess passes. So if they've eaten and cleaned up their space, they can get a pass to go outside when we have good weather and enjoy playing games outside or just getting some fresh air. And then in the last couple of minutes, they come in and head to their next class. Lockers, lockers, lockers. They love lockers. You do not have to buy a lock. We will remind you of this multiple times. You don't have to buy a lock. We provide the lock because we have to teach them how to open a combination lock. It's not a lock with a key. We teach them how to open the combination. They'll have one in their hallway where they put away their coat and their book bag. They'll also have one in their physical education class. So because they need to change. So they do not need to get locks. We have it already for them and we'll show them how to open the locks. Some important people that'll help them in their day if they need assistance. We have three building security members, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Rosanes, and Mr. Vasquez, all there to help the students throughout the day. Cell phones, family, if you have not bought your child a cell phone, do not feel pressure to buy your child a cell phone. They don't need it. There, I said it. They don't need a cell phone. If they need to call you during the day, they can get a pass to go to the main office. And in the main office, we have a phone just for the students to use to call their families when they need it. If they do have a cell phone, that cell phone should be put away. I'll say that one more time. If they do have a cell phone, the cell phone should be put away. They can use the cell phone, obviously, on their way to school. They're on their bus, walking to school, they can use their cell phone. At lunch, we allow students to use their cell phone. After school, of course, they're heading home. They can use their cell phone. They should not have their cell phone out during class. And we have a process in the sixth grade to ensure that the phones are put away so that they're not distracting kids from learning. So families, if you have not bought a phone, do not buy a phone. Don't let them pressure you, first-time middle school parents. Don't let them pressure you into buying a phone. I saw a question about a smartwatch. Of course, they can wear whatever wearable tech you buy for them. Just make sure that they are responsible with their wearable tech. Okay? All
They
right.
will not be allowed to wear their smartphone during testing, though. That will be removed. We are going to transition to our team leader, Mr. Smith, to talk to us about outdoor education program.
Hi. So I am one of the sixth grade team leaders, and each year, every sixth grade student is given the opportunity to attend the outdoor education program. Typically, we operate with an overnight session, at least one overnight session, and at least one day trip session. However, Miss Robbins and I have to discuss what we'll be able to do next year, depending on numbers. We're going to be playing a video here. This gives you a little intro into the outdoor education program. It is one of the highlights of sixth grade. It is what kids going into high school often say is the best part about middle school.
Were you able to hear the intro music? Okay. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can get the audio to work one more time. Someone give me a thumbs up if this attempt works.
Hi, I'm Lee Derby, the supervisor for outdoor and environmental education programs in Montgomery County Public Schools. A big part of my job is working with your teachers, your administrators, and our great staff to provide a meaningful and enjoyable outdoor education experience. Outdoor Ed in sixth grade is a 3-day, 2-night residential experience filled with fun and learning. The learning here is directly connected to what students do in the classroom and a part of the sixth grade curriculum. In addition to academics, students also learn how to communicate better, how to work together to solve problems, and how to positively impact the environment. Most of the students who attend Outdoor Ed also report that they make new friends here, and they consider it one of their favorite experiences in all their time in MCPS. Now let's take a look at what that experience is like.
Hi, my name is Courtney Aber. I'm one of the teachers for the outdoor education program. And we wanted to show you what the dorms look like where your students will be staying when they're here overnight. Let's go inside and check it out. Here we are inside one of the dorms at the Smith Center. But all of the sites that we use for outdoor education, the dorms look very similar. Your student will be separated by gender when they spend the night. And there's also a spot for teachers or adult chaperones to stay, and those adult chaperones have been cleared by NCPS. Let's take a look at the beds that your students will be using and the bathrooms on each side of the door. Each dorm has a separate bathroom for those students that are staying in that dorm. equipped with showers, toilets, and sinks.
Hi, I'm Mark Granger, one of the teachers for Montgomery County Outdoor Environmental Education Program. And one of the kids' favorite lessons to do while they're at their outdoor ed stay as sixth graders is the predator-prey simulation, where they take the role of an omnivore, a carnivore, or a herbivore in an ecosystem to try to get the resources they need to survive. Hi, my name is Antonio Carrillo, and I'm a teacher here at the Environmental Outdoor Education Program. One of the classes your students will be taking is looking at the stream habitat. We're going to be going down to the stream, looking for what we call macroinvertebrates, or insects that live in the water, insect larvae. We'll also be looking at the physical characteristics of the stream and do some chemical tests as well. All this data we're going to be used to answer that driving question. What choices and actions impact this watershed? We hope to use this data as well to compare how healthy the stream is near your school. So here we are. Again, this is, oh wow, this is great. So one of the things we will be doing is looking at the macroinvertebrates and identifying them and seeing, hey, what does it tell us about the health of the stream? One of the instructional activities your students will take part of while they're at outdoor education this year is something we call the confidence course. That is a series of challenges that teachers will pose to the students. Hopefully by communicating with one another, by cooperating with each other, by exercising some great problem solving skills, kids will learn how to work better together to overcome these challenges that we throw at them.
Oh, hello. My name is Brian Schilling, and I work at the Smith Center. Hopefully, you'll be joining us soon for your outdoor education experience. Right now, I am out exploring the local watershed, which reminds me, one of your classes was actually going to be called Exploring the Watershed. And during this class, you're going to go out and you're going to look around at the land and try to determine how healthy is the land in this watershed, and how do I even figure out if it's healthy? What kind of biodiversity indicators are there? Do I see different types of life, different types of trees or animals? Well, while you're looking around, you're going to be looking for a post like this. And when you find the post, it'll be red and white or blue and white. It'll have a number or letter on it. We do want you to ask yourself a few questions, like, what kind of land is it? What would happen if it rained here today? Would the rain be absorbed in the ground? Would the rain run off? What kind of human impact has taken place around here? Do we see buildings or parking lots? And on that note, what kind of impact could you have through your actions? Oh, I think I see some trash down here. I'm going to pick it up. Anyway, we look forward to seeing you soon at Outdoor Education, so you can explore the local watershed.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Lee, one of the educators here with the Outdoor Environmental Education Program. During the evening, students will participate in a variety of instructional activities, which could include viewing the night sky, some nighttime science explorations, relays, games, community circles, and of course, a campfire with s'mores.
Okay, so, Mr. Smith, did you have anything else to add regarding outdoor education?
I would just let the parents know and the guardians know that we have a lot of information, and we will have informational meetings and flyers and emails going out to clarify the process for outdoor education, and we'll have time to discuss with them if they have any concerns. We really do encourage students to go. It is connected to the science curriculum for sixth grade, and it is a great opportunity to learn about the environment and the human impact on the environment, especially for our Chesapeake Bay.
And finally, what I would like to add regarding outdoor education is we hold at least 2 different orientations at the actual Smith Center for parents to come join us and find out more information about outdoor ed. You will actually be on the campus and get to explore and see where your child will attend. And please do not worry, they will be safe with us. It is the highlight of middle school, not only for students, but the teachers and the staff there at the Smith Center really enjoy engaging with your children in a different setting. We get to learn more about their skill set and strengths. And so it is a wonderful experience. My favorite is Predator Prey, and all the kids are scared of me. We are going to transition to our counselors now. And oh, look, Miss Thomas is actually at Outdoor Ed.
Yes, I sure am. I'm down at the stream. Um, Good evening, everyone. The information you see on the screen is just the contact information, but also key thing, we are coming to the elementary schools next week. You'll see myself, Miss Mayer, Miss Putman, and maybe a few other folks who will come to the middle schools next week. And then we also come back in February for some questions and answer period. Okay, next slide.
Okay, hi, I'm Miss Mayer. Oh, sorry, Miss Thomas. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Miss Mayer. I'll be the rising sixth grade counselor next year. And as Miss Thomas said, we'll be in your children's school next week, and then again the week after. Just like in elementary school, the counselor is there to support your child in a variety of ways, social, emotionally, college and career exploration, and helping them with any academic concerns or scheduling and that kind of thing. And we work to support you as a family as well. We do work with the children all 3 years, so we follow them. So it's nice to see them how they come in from elementary school and then how they grow and we head them off to high school. So it's a nice developmental period of time. And again, we're here to help advocate for your child and support you however we can.
So the sixth grade instructional program, your students, as Dr. Sewell had mentioned, they will have 7 periods a day. So there's 5 academic courses that they take, which would be English, science, world studies, mathematics, phys ed, and health. Those are the 5 core classes. And then they have 2 elective courses. So that totals 7. Next slide, please. Oop. Yes, so under this, you see the required courses. We have grade 6 math. We have the grade 6 advanced English 6, or English for EML students. We have investigation of earth science 6, historical inquiry and world studies, and phys ed. Ms. Mayer, can you help out,
Sure.
please?
Sure. And then to continue on, we have math courses. We have grade 6 math. There's also accelerated math 6+ and pre-algebra 6. And some of those advanced courses are the students are identified from central office folks based on performance data in math. We also have, and again, Ms. Jones, who's our resource teacher for special education, is a main contact for many students as well. And we have intervention courses that are only through recommendation, and we have developmental reading and Read 180 as our reading interventions. We have a Math 180 class for math intervention, and then there's a resource class for special education support. And again, there are certain other classes, like I said, that those are for recommendations, but then the students are automatically signed up for their core academics, social studies, English, PE, and science. So the real focus of the counselor visits next week to the elementary schools will be to focus on their elective choices. That's the fun stuff that they get to choose. So that's the part that they will be choosing, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next few slides.
I just wanted to highlight, as Ms. Mira said, we have already been in communication with your child's fifth grade teachers and administrators, and working with them for teacher recommendations on different courses that students will be eligible to take, and what academic data points will be used to determine which classes they should be placed in. So we're not only collaborating with you as your child's first advocate that knows them very well, we're collaborating with their teachers that have been working with them so far this year and their administrators, their elementary school career.
Yes, thank you for adding that. And just to clarify, some of the students who might have intervention courses, those do take the place of an elective. So just as we start to go through this process, I just want to make sure that that was clear, that sometimes that can take the place of an elective. You'll see again, as we post this presentation, there are links to the information that we're talking about tonight, but the page we're looking at now is the elective options for the rising sixth graders for next year. So the options would be for world language, they would have the opportunity to take Spanish 1 or French 1 coming in as a sixth grader. And the form that we're going to be providing the students to choose electives from just asks them to express their interest. We like to just make sure that the data shows that they would be successful, because those classes are high school credit, so they are, quite rigorous. So we just want to make sure that we set students up for success. We have music classes for beginning band or orchestra, and those are full year courses. And then we have two different, for lack of a better word, kind of rotational courses. But the first one is fine arts, and the students would go through kind of 4 quarters of a different fine art topic. So you can see on the screen, there's digital art photography, there's studio art, which is more like a regular arts and crafts, there's general music, and there's lights, camera, literacy. So they would rotate through those each quarter. The other option would be an engineering or technology group of classes, and that's a year-long class. So they would be with the same teacher all year, but they will be kind of going through 4 different curriculums: intro to technology and engineering, coding and gaming, engineering design and modeling, and robotic design. So kind of depending again on what their interests are or what they would like to check out, those would be their options for electives. Ms. Thomas, do you want to chime in, or do you want me to keep going?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can do that.
Okay.
So, just to understand, before the end of 8th grade, students must take at least 1 fine art, okay, and 1 STEM class. And so they can meet this requirement next year by looking at the examples on the screen. But that's very important because it's considered a well-rounded curriculum. They'll be here for 3 years, but at least 1 quarter, they should have a fine arts class and 1 STEM class. Also, the world languages, as Ms. Mayer noted, these are high school credit courses. So all students who will receive a diploma, the ones that will graduate from high school down the road, and yes, your child is in 6th grade, but once they get to 12th grade, they will graduate. They need to obtain a certain amount of credits. And one area they need credits in would be language. And you need 2 credits to have the high school for your languages. You need 2 credits. So some students in middle school do take this route, and they end up being able to successfully pass their language classes in middle school, and they already receive their 2 credits towards graduation. I will say, as one thing though, is that yes, these classes are rigorous, but that's really the big concern is kids who really want to take this class, they really should be invested in taking this class for a while, especially if they would like to go on later to college, because colleges really look at what students take when it comes to a language, but they like to look at what students take starting in 9th grade. So I say that to say this: if they begin in 6th grade, they should continue with the language at least into maybe 10th grade. So that means they'll be going, you know, in high school into an advanced level Spanish or French class, which is wonderful. And some kids can eventually graduate with a certain certificate of a seal of biliteracy and things of that nature. But I just want parents to be aware of that. You know, it's great to take the language in 6th grade. However, you don't have to rush to do it. And just really stop and think about what is best for your child. So this is the when we come, we're going to show the children the 6th grade Google form. And basically the students will fill it out and they're going to list their first, second, and third choice for electives. And then there's just a simple question that says if they're interested in a world language. They'll say yes, no, or they're not, they're not interested. And we need to make sure this is all done by February the 7th. So the students and you will be able to look at this form, and we'll give them directions when we see them next week. Once again, we will be in the schools, and the last day to register for electives will be February the 7th. If you have questions, you can always reach out to myself or Miss Mayor to ask any additional questions about classes, and we're available to speak with you. But we're looking forward to seeing all the bright young faces next week.
Yes, since we're going to be at elementary schools next week and the following week, why don't we do a quick roll call in the chat? My parents, please put in the chat, what school does your child attend? Harriet Tubman, Summit Hall, Goshen, Mill Creek Town, and then who is our final one rounding us out? Come on, guys. Can you use the chat? I see 8. Let's see, how many more do we have? Oh, we're up to 11. Harriet Tubman Goshen, Harriet Tubman Goshen, Harriet Tubman Goshen. All right. Harriet Tubman and Goshen are in the house. Yes.
I saw a Rosemont parent.
I know, I was waiting for somebody to say Rosemont. All right, so glad that you were able to join us tonight, and we're going to be at your child's school next week. This is a reminder of our contact information here, and please be mindful, we are going to share this slide deck as well as this video will be published. I think I'm going to drop in the chat the slide deck. I just have to make sure I change the setting that anyone with the link can view it. So at this point, we're going to open it up for questions. Please feel free to write your question in the chat or come off of mute and speak directly with us.
Just to make it easier so everybody doesn't speak at once, and I want to thank Ms. Bosher for starting us off. Please use the raise your hand feature if you want to come off mute, but you're also welcome to put your questions in the chat. Ms. Bosher, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see a question in the chat, though, while Ms. Bosher may be trying to come off mute. What will the classes look like for students in advanced classes already? So I believe in the slides we mentioned, but we definitely need to restate this, that our students who are placed in our advanced classes, for example, pre-algebra 6, we have a social studies class, world studies class called humanities. Those classes are centrally recommended. We get a list from MCPS letting us know who the rising 6th graders are, who should be scheduled for these advanced classes. And it's part of their schedule. They go through their 7 periods a day, and one of their classes could be pre-algebra 6, or one of their classes could be humanities 6 as their instead of the historical inquiry class. So they take 7 classes just like everyone else. About how many students are in a classroom? That depends. It's really challenging to say from one class to the next, but on average, it can be anywhere between 25 to 28 students, excuse me, in a classroom. If your child requires a reading or math intervention, those classes are generally smaller. So they can run about 15, 18 students in those support classes, but our general classes, 25 to 28.
So one of the things about middle school is that typically the class sizes are slightly larger than that of elementary classes. But one of the great things about it is when we did the roll call, we have 5 feeder schools. So we have 5 groups of students coming together and meeting new peers and friends. And so we want to make sure we have diversified classes that can support that social emotional development and peer friendships and groups that are developing.
So here's another great question. Will there be a shadow day or time for students to visit before the year starts? Yes, there is a official MCPS orientation day that's held in August before school begins. The students will ride the bus, or if they're walkers, they'll walk over to Forest Oak, and they will follow a shortened version of the schedule, but it's their schedule so that they can get a feel of the building before they come to school that Monday. So they will go through their schedule, learn where the gym is, learn where the cafeteria is, so that come Monday, they have a little bit of an idea of where to go. It's not perfect, but once they get there on Monday, they start to really learn where things are. So this will take place in August. You'll get more information about that.
It
What are,
is always the Thursday before school starts.
what are the extracurricular clubs available to students? Anybody want to take that one on?
Yes, so there are different things that students can be involved in. We have something called Excel Beyond the Bell. And it's a great opportunity for kids to we're connected with groups that come in and have all these different fun activities from different things from like cooking and different activities that involve sports and things of that nature. It's really really nice. The kids really love it, and they're usually information. The kids can look and see which classes they want to sign up and bring a permission slip home, and then we also just have activities that some teachers or other staff members will sponsor other clubs or activities after school, and all that really begins at the beginning of the year. We just, start sharing information through our announcements. So it's a great time for kids to really get involved in a lot of different activities.
And my personal favorite, student government. 6th grade has its own student government representatives. So I'm a big fan of student government.
Today I was advertising jewelry making during 6th grade lunch. But the great thing about it is if there are clubs or activities that your child is interested in that we don't currently offer, if they're able to get enough interest from other students and a sponsor, a staff member to lead that, then we can potentially offer it. So we do want our students to advocate for their interests, and we try to meet their needs as best as possible.
So currently, if you're driving your child to school, the bus route is available on the Montgomery County Public Schools website. You can contact transportation on Montgomery County Public School, on the Montgomery County Public Schools website to find out which bus stops closest in your area. We also post the bus routes on our website as soon as we get the updated bus routes. We post it on our websites and on our website and send it out to families. What grade are kids able to join any of school sports? And thank you, Ms. Putman, for putting it in the chat. 7th and 8th grade, that's when they're able to participate in sports. We have basketball, we have soccer, help me so I don't
Softball,
forget. Softball, thank you.
softball.
Softball. So there are some opportunities for kids to join sports, but they have to be 7th or 8th grade. Are there any other questions? These are all great questions.
Yeah, one other sport that I didn't hear mentioned is cross country.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Just a quick note on sports. I believe that eligibility for, and correct me if I'm wrong, for fall sports plays into factor with Q3 for the second semester. I don't know if I'm wrong.
I think it probably would impact Q4 maybe, but the eligibility is that students just basically students need to be passing all their classes. Just keep that in mind. You know, we don't want students who may, if students have not are not passing their classes with they have a failing grade, they would not be able to participate in the sports program. So, but many kids are very excited about it, and many of them work very hard to make sure that they're eligible so they can try out for our sports teams.
What supports are offered to students who are still getting used to 7 classes? So we, in the 6th grade, we support that transition for most of first quarter, all the way into second quarter, helping them to get from location to location. I'm trying to really put this together in the best kind of way. They are going to figure it out. I know as a parent, you're like, but I know my child. I know what they're going to need. I want you to trust your child and trust that your child is going to figure out where their classes are located and how to get there really quickly. One of the reasons the 6th grade is located on the first floor is so that they don't have to go too far to get to their classes. The kids who need to go up to the second floor are typically taking a world language. That's why they need to go upstairs. But for the most part, most of our 6th graders are on the first floor and they are moving through the first floor pretty easily. And they learn their schedule pretty easily. And the 6th grade team is magnificent. They do a great job of helping kids understand their schedule, understand the layout of the building, and get from location to location efficiently and effectively. Mr. Schmidt?
Yeah, I know. I wanted to jump in because I know Mr. Smith was going to round it out. First couple of weeks, even up to a month, we have kind of a staggered schedule so that students in the 6th grade have a little bit more time, a few more minutes added on. So as Dr. Sewell said, school doors open at 7:50. Kids go to their holding location until the bell rings at 8. And then they're expected to be in their advisory by 8:08. So those are the time frames, but we will let 6th graders out of the cafeteria around 7:56, 7:08. So they have a couple extra minutes. All staff are on deck, on hands, on deck to support the students. We have signs in the hallway about how to use the left, right, left combinations. Everything is there. We have staff who have keys to lockers. We even have staff that will escort students to their next class if that's what their need. There are lots of supports in place. Mr. Smith, please add on.
And most of the 6th grade team has been welcoming new students for a number of years, and we operate with a level of grace for the first couple of weeks, and we're always willing to help students navigate and learn their schedules. Within the first 2 weeks, the majority, if not every single student, has figured out how to get to all of their classes. And when it comes to taking 7 different classes, that comes to just time and getting used to compartmentalizing subjects and spaces. And eventually, within a month, they will have mastered it. There is another question on how
Can I just
homework.
chime in? One other thing that we did is that we assigned lockers for grade 6 students later in the opening week, because the biggest thing they would do is lock their schedule in the locker and then could not open their locker. So we prioritize them learning their schedule first before
Yeah.
we even add on the locker combination.
Yeah.
I want to take on the communication question. There's a question in the chat about homework and grades communicated to parents. If you are not on Parent View, get on Parent View. Parent View is your friend. I'm a parent on Parent View, and I monitor my child's everything, from attendance to grades to communication with teachers. Parent View is your magic tool to monitor your child's progress from wherever you are. So if you are not already on Parent View, please get on Parent View. Also, every teacher in Forest Oak Middle School uses Remind. It's an app that allows them to text you. You do not have to download the app. They have access to the app, and you will still receive the text message. They will text you about assignments that are coming up, about a test that's happening. They'll text you if your child is missing something. So please, please, please download Parent View. If you haven't done so already, get on Parent View. If you need help getting on Parent View, we're happy to help you. Our main office team and our counseling team are available to help you get on Parent View. It is your tool to be able to support your child through school. Parent View is your best way. You can even see when they're missing things before anybody tells you that they're missing items. You will never have to again be told that your child is missing their work, because you'll see it and know in advance. And then you'll also get the communication from the staff members about upcoming assignments and things your child may be missing. So please get on Parent View. Are there any other questions? I'm going to bounce it over to Miss Putman. Is there? Yes. Oh, thank you, Miss Martin. Before I give it to Miss Putman to close us out, PTA, Parent Teacher Association, is fully functional and operational and established at Forest Oak Middle School. We have a growing number of parents who connect with us in the PTA. We expect every single 6th grade parent to be part of the PTA. So that should give me 300 PTA members. Please, please, please connect with PTA. When you see the email come out, please join us. We need you. We want you. We welcome you. Thank you for asking that great question, Ms. Martin. And I turn it over to Ms. Putman.
So I just wanted to say, my dog is bidding you adieu as well. That we are so glad that you came out tonight to hear about Forest Oak Middle School. This is our first time engaging with you, but it certainly will not be our last. In addition to PTA, we have parent council, we have different parent outreach and organizations available to you. We do try to make sure that we have quarterly opportunities for parents to come in and visit their students, their child, and to interact and interface with their teachers and staff. So please be on the lookout for that. So our first one after it's open house, which is typically held on Indigenous People Day. So look out for those opportunities as well. Mr. Smith has brought his daughter on board, and I think we have one comment in the chat. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and we look forward to meeting you in person as well as working with your children. Again, have a great evening and night, and we will see your children next week. Bye.
Good night, everyone.